Welcome to another episode of SG Crypto. It has been a few months since my last long form video. I've been making YouTube shorts along the way, as some of you have been seeing. But as far as the long form content's been I don't want to say slacking on it because it just hasn't been a top priority. I've done my research in crypto. I understand it. I understand what I'm invested in, but I don't want to keep saying the same mundane thing over and over again. And it's not only that, but it's just I'm focusing on, and if you've been following my shorts, LBOs is something I've been focusing a lot of my attention on. And just overall mindset is just what I've been creating content around. So it's not really just a crypto channel. It's more so everything. It's more so just a journey of what I'm doing on a daily basis. And as of right now, I am just preparing for future and how I perceive that future will be. And LBOs are leveraged buyouts. Purchasing companies is essentially what that is, and that's a big part of my future and what I'm working towards right now and have been over the past few months. I used to be making a couple videos every week, but nonetheless, it doesn't matter. We're here now, and I will be just ramping up my content production. I put together all of my different socials. As you can see here, I have Instagram, Twitter, everything, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, everything put right here. As well, I also started a blog. It's because writing is something I actually do enjoy. So I'm finally kind of venturing into that, just to see how it goes. So check that out. That's kind of that's exciting for myself. Yeah. So yeah, please check that out. Let me know what you think. Any tips, comments, concerns, always appreciated. But the main focus of this video today is going to be about recessions. So kind of like the blog states, recessions are exciting. A lot of people are afraid of recessions and depressions, and for good reason. But the majority of that fear comes from like media and how they push that narrative and perpetuate that fear into people, because it's just comes down to what you focus on. Recessions can be fearful. You might lose your job, which can be reversed. You can focus on an industry that is going to be relevant in a recession. And then when it comes to maybe your investments, of course they're going to go down, but with that, on the other side of that, you could sell now if in anticipation of a recession and buy back in and just make that much more money and have that much more in assets. It's a time of things being on sale, real estate, stock markets, really anything you can think of, things just being on sale, and it's really the time to buy. And so, as I talk about in the blog, is really what you focus on today that's going to prepare you for, or it's what you do today that's going to prepare you for tomorrow. You could go out and go eat out tonight or today, or you could take that money and put it into a speculative asset like crypto. That's just something I personally enjoy. You could do that, put it away for an asset like real estate. When the market does turn over, you could, instead of just putting that money and spending it and never seeing that again, you could put it into something that's going to pay you in the future. Not only that, but maybe instead of playing video games, you could read a book. You could listen to some positivity on YouTube. Listen to a book if that's more your style. The point is, you can do, no matter what you do, it comes back to you. So looking at your life right now, if you're not happy with the way it is, it's on you. You can decide to read a book or play video games. You can decide to go eat out, or you can decide to put that money into something that's going to appreciate, assuming it appreciates. So, it really comes down to you. And personally, I do play video games. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to do, but everything in moderation, and same with eating out. There's nothing wrong with it, but when you're doing it every day, when you're spending that money, it really comes down to what you're saying you want versus what you're doing. So if you say you want this lavish lifestyle, if you say you want to be prepared for a recession, but your actions aren't meeting that, that's the problem. So if you're okay with just playing video games all day and eating out and you're genuinely happy, then fuck yeah, good for you. But if you're not, if you're not happy, if you are, if you want more and you're not pushing for it, then that's the problem. And that's kind of that's the person I'm trying to reach. And I guess no matter who you are, no matter what you're doing, preparing for a recession is pretty important, because you can't just, unless you are perfectly set up, you've put in the work and you are set, then fuck yeah, good for you. You can turn this off and have a beautiful day. But yeah, I just think everything is so fear-based now. Everybody is just consuming all this media. They are constantly consuming this drama of what's going on here, what's going on there, and just not putting enough time and energy into themselves, into what they're doing on a daily basis, into where they want their life to be. And that's a problem. That is a problem, because like I was saying, the media pushes so much fear. They're pushing, these war narratives. They're pushing food shortages. They're pushing, just constantly on a daily basis. You just hear it from people. Personally, I'm an installer. I just do I do work that puts me in front of a lot of people. And, it's just, there's just a lot of that fear-based mentality, because of all the media consumption, because of all the negativity consumption. And you're gonna find that out there though. Like, you can't, you're gonna there's going to be negativity and there's going to be positivity. It's just kind of about what you tune into. It's just kind of like a radio. You can tune into this station, you can tune into that station. You can tune into negativity, or you can tune into positivity. And I choose positivity. So just to kind of swipe through and read through the blog a little bit that I wrote. So on talk of recessions, on average, and looking at kind of over the past 100 years, on average, it's like every 3.5 to 4 years that you have a recession, and they last for about an average of 17 months, which really isn't a long time, and you can prepare now and just start putting money away. You can start investing that into something, putting that into precious metals that are going to stand and are going to be relevant, if the US dollar collapses, whatever that. Do some research for sure. Don't just take this video and be like, yep, I'm going to do this. Do some research. But yeah, so they last an average of 17 months and come every 3.5 to 4 years, which, so that just makes them pretty common. So to be afraid of them is pretty silly. It's kind of like being afraid of a rainstorm, or anything like that, because they come so often that you shouldn't be afraid of those things. Personally, I've never gone through a recession. I've gone through it, but I was like 8 years old. I don't remember shit about it, so I don't really have any personal experience with it. But just the fact that they are so common, you should be preparing for them. You should already be prepared for them. And if you're not, you should be taking that time to prepare for them. You should be vetting your industry, vetting what you're working in, and seeing if it's going to be relevant during a recession, seeing if it's recession proof, seeing if you are personally recession proof. For me, what I do is I perceive to be recession proof for various reasons. I won't get into that, but what I'm really doing is the business buying, and that is going to allow me. So first off, I am using none of my own money, little to none of my own money. I am purchasing up already existing businesses that have been around for 10, 20, 30 years, typically. And essentially what I'm doing is just buying revenue. So these companies are already producing income. They are, and they have been for the past 10, 20 years. And, I vet the business itself and look at all the financials, make sure that it is doing what the seller said it's doing. And I take that revenue that I purchase. So let's say it's producing, $300,000 in profit every year, and I'm able to maybe take out 100,000 of that money every year. I then will diversify that into other sectors like real estate, like precious metals, like supercars, that do appreciate, like jewelry that appreciates, um, into the stock market, into crypto, all these different things, just kind of diversify that income so that, I am recession proofing myself even further. I still have work to do. I'm not completely recession proof, but this channel, like I said, is just kind of documentation of my journey. And right now I'm starting to read about recessions and seeing what I can do to be prepared to the best of my ability. And I want to share that with you guys because it's important. It is important. I think everybody wants to be prepared, but not everybody wants to put in the work for it. And it's kind of like a six-pack. Everybody would love it, but no one wants to put in the work. Everything really just comes down to habits. Your spending habits, your consumption habits. Your algorithm is going to tell you what you look for. If you look at your algorithm and you see girls shaking their asses, that the algorithm is feeding you what you like. If you are on your algorithm and it is feeding you success, success stories or different side incomes, side hustles, things like that, that's clearly what you're hungry for. So the world is going to give you what I don't want to say it that way because it sounds too easy. Like, you get what you look for, essentially. And nothing's going to come easy. It's going to take hours and hours and hours, days and days and days, weeks and weeks. So do not think it's going to be easy. So I guess first thing you could do is, and I'll leave you with this, is just ask yourself, what do you want? And after you decide upon exactly what you want, and be definitive about it. Don't say, I want a lot of money. Be definite as to the amount. I want $500,000. And then decide what you're going to do in return for it. There's no such thing as something for nothing. So I'll leave you with that. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, let me know in the comments. Maybe I said something incorrectly. Please correct me and we'll all learn together. So with that, have a beautiful day. I'll see you later.